Alrighty, guys, so we're at our next location, Dynamic Attractions, and we have Robin here, and Robin is working on an amazing project right here with Batman. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So Batman is a robotic arm ride in Abu Dhabi in the UAE. Just opened last year and has now got 4 awards as of yesterday. Spectacular ride. It's a great story about helping Batman fight crime. And you are his right-hand man. And what we're doing is actually putting you in a drone type of experience, and you're flying through Gotham City fighting his arch enemies through that story. And it's a really enjoyable ride.
Now, it's won a bunch of awards, like you said, but what specific awards are we talking about, and why are those important for Dynamic Attractions?
So one of the most important awards for Dynamic Attractions point of view is certainly from an engineering side. So the award we got from IAAPA relates to the technology that we used in the ride system, because it's a first of its kind ride. There are other robotic arm rides around, but in this scenario, the way that we moved the vehicles around the ride and how we dealt with load and unload situations to maintain a high throughput for our client was really, really unique and not been done before. And as a result of that, we're recognised with an award, which is spectacular.
Obviously, you've had a chance to ride it many, many times, I would think. What do you feel as you're going through the attraction? Since I haven't done it yet, what do you think about, like, actually going through and being Batman's right-hand man?
I love it. I mean, it starts right in the pre-show. You get into the Batcave. You start in Wayne Tower, and you start in Wayne Tower. You're recruited by Bruce Wayne to help him, and then you get into the Batcave. And the Batcave is really cool. It's this tiny little space, and then you're loaded into your own little discrete loading pod, and it's a tiny little room where you've just got your seats in this kind of dark, and the lights are on and off and stuff. Then you get in your pod, and all of a sudden you're whisked away into this magical kind of space where you've got the Batmobile, and you've got Joker and Poison Ivy and all these other characters that are intermittent, and it's really kind of immersive ride, right? So once you're in that story and you're in that seat, you go from these scenes where it just seems this kind of seamless kind of flow of a storyline. So you never really feel kind of separated from it. So I really like that kind of immersiveness, you know.
Now, obviously, we know Batman has some issues sometimes, and he runs into some not so nice characters and whatnot. Now, that's going to be interesting because, again, the name of this company is Dynamic Attractions. A ARM style ride is going to be very dynamic in motion and whatnot. Can you tell me about some of the motion that went to that animation that we saw? Like, it's got to be crazy, yes?
Yeah. The robot we use are very impressive. It's a 4-axis system, which means we can create quite a wide range of options for our client. So there's obviously a very creative process that we had to go through with the client before we got to the field, and then we're on the field to iterate through making sure that story achieves what we want to. There's a certain scene in the ride where you fall. Batman's losing a little bit, of course, you know, and he falls out of a building, and as he falls, we're able to make that falling motion and then a sort of jerk sensation when he hits the ground. And because of the accelerations that we're able to achieve with the machine, we're able to really simulate that great experience and time it with the media really well, right? But it takes time. We have to go through the process. But yeah, I love how that machine and artistry kind of comes together to create that experience. It's amazing, really is.
I fully agree. Now, Robin, I got to ask, what does it mean to you as one of the designers on this project, working with Dynamic Attractions, and of course seeing these awards for the hard work that you're doing?
It's amazing. I mean, it really is. They were some of the toughest work days I've ever had when we're on site, and the client's obviously very demanding, quite rightly so. We've got a deadline to hit, but we're still in a creative phase to try and create the best product we can for the guests, right? But yeah, it was so satisfying. It really is. I mean, the awards are one thing. There was one day, actually, after we opened, it was probably 2 days after we opened, I was sitting outside in the maintenance area when the ride was going round, and you could hear the kids screaming as they passed on the ride. And honestly, it just makes all that difficult times so satisfying to have achieved that, right? And it really is a big success for us, you know.
So you can win all the awards in the world, but seeing people physically in the seats, coming off with smiles and whatnot, it's got to be the best thing. I've heard it many times before, and it's good to hear that was one of your experiences. Guys, you got to really try out the Batman attraction. I've got to try it out and whatnot. Again, Dynamic Attractions is doing some amazing things coming up in the future. We're excited to see what's coming up. Robin, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.